In the early Tang dynasty, there was a renowned face reader. Just by looking at a person's face, he could read their destiny. One day, this face reader was invited to visit a noble household. After examining the sons one by one, he nodded and said, "They might reach third-rank officials." Quote, "Not a particularly impressive reading." The elders' faces stiffened a bit. Just then, a nursemaid carried in a baby dressed in boy's clothes. The face reader's expression turned pale in an instant. "I cannot read this child's bone structure properly. Let me see the child walk." Quote, "When the nursemaid set the baby down, the child toddled forward. The face reader's eyes began to tremble. Ah, if this child is a girl, she will become the ruler of all under heaven. That baby's name was Wu Zetian. She would later become the one and only female emperor in 5,000 years of Chinese history. Wu Zetian. The face reader's name was Yuan Tiangang, a master of astronomy and divination recorded in history. The man who stood alongside him was none other than Li Shunfan. These two would later co-author the most famous prophecy book in Chinese history, the Tui Bei Tu, but that story will come a bit later. The household Yuan Tiangang visited belonged to Wu Shihuo, the governor of Lizhu. Wu Shihuo had originally made his fortune in the lumber trade, but when Emperor Gaozu Liyuan raised his army, he supplied provisions and earned an official post. Think of it as a businessman turned politician. Wu Shihuo was curious about his children's futures, so he invited the greatest face reader of the age, Yuan Tiangang. Yuan Tiangang first examined the eldest son, Wu Yuanqing, and the second son, Wu Yuanshuang. These boys may hold office and preserve the family name, but they do not bear the marks of greatness. Disappointment flickered across Wu Shihuo's face. Just then, Lady Yang brought in their third daughter. However, since face readers typically didn't read girls' fortunes, they had deliberately dressed her in boys' clothes. The moment Yuan Tiangang saw the child, he leapt from his seat, gasping for breath. He began circling the child, examining her closely. Dragon eyes and a phoenix neck. This child's nobility is beyond measure. But the reading doesn't fit a boy. Yuan Tiangang stared for a long time, then spoke as if lamenting. What a pity. If this child is a girl, she will become the son of heaven. The room froze. The son of heaven. The word for emperor. No one expected to hear it about a toddler barely 2 or 3 years old. Wu Zetian, born Wu Zhao, was born in 624. She was extraordinary from childhood. She memorized texts after a single reading, and when studying history books, she analyzed the decisions of emperors. At an age when most girls were learning embroidery, Wu Zhao was questioning the principles that govern the world. But fate was not kind. When Wu Zhao turned 12, her father Wu Shihuo passed away. Without their patron, the Wu family fell quickly, and her half-brothers mistreated young Wu Zhao and her mother. Wu Zetian never forgot those years, even after she held the world in her hands. The bitterness of those childhood days made her stronger and more ruthless. As history records, then, when Wu Zhao turned 14, an imperial edict arrived at the Wu household. Emperor Taizong Li Shimin had heard rumors of the Wu family's beautiful daughter and ordered her brought to the palace as a concubine. A 14-year-old girl enters the imperial palace. Yuan Tiangang's prophecy had begun to stir. Upon entering the palace, Wu Zhao received the title Wu Mei from Emperor Taizong. Karen, a 5th-rank concubine, not a particularly high position. And then, remarkably, Wu Zhao was never promoted once during Taizong's entire reign. Why? Emperor Taizong was a brilliant ruler. Perhaps he sensed something extraordinary in this young concubine's eyes. In fact, a prophecy had been circulating around Emperor Taizong. After the third Tang emperor, one surnamed Wu will seize the realm. After the third Tang emperor, someone named Wu would steal the throne. Because of this prophecy, Taizong even had General Li Zhengxian killed on suspicion of being the Wu. But he never suspected the Wu right there among his own concubines. He never knew. In 649, Emperor Taizong died. As was custom, the late emperor's concubines had their heads shaved and were sent to convents. 26-year-old Wu Zhao entered Ganye Temple and became a nun. Normally, the story would have ended here, but it didn't. The new emperor, Emperor Gaozong Liji, had been unable to forget Wu Zhao since his days as crown prince. Desiring your father's concubine was taboo even then. But Gaozong eventually brought Wu Zhao back to the palace. Bring the Wu woman from Ganye Temple to the palace. It was the moment the course of history changed. Wu Zhao had changed when she returned to the palace. The harsh years at the temple had given her patience and political instinct. She completely captivated Emperor Gaozong's heart, pushing out rivals one by one. She ousted Empress Wang, then consort Shao. The process was brutal, but effective. In 655, Wu Zhao finally ascended to the position of Empress, 17 years after entering the palace as a low-ranking concubine at 14. The years I endured to reach this seat, who could ever know? Quote, and after becoming Empress, Wu Zetian became the true power behind the Tang dynasty. Gaozong was frail, and Wu Zetian, under the guise of ruling from behind the curtain, seized control of all state affairs. People called the pair the two sages, two saints, two sons. In 683, Emperor Gaozong passed away. His son Zhongzong took the throne, but Wu Zetian deposed him in just 2 months. She installed the next son, Ruizong, but he was merely a puppet. Then, in 690, Wu Zetian finally ascended to the throne herself. She changed the dynasty name to Zhu and declared herself the sacred divine emperor. In 5,000 years of Chinese history, the one and only female emperor was born. How should we evaluate Wu Zetian's rule? It was cruel. She purged opponents without mercy, encouraged informants, and used brutal officials to rule through terror. Even her own sons were not spared. Yet at the same time, she was capable. She expanded the civil examination system, recruiting talented commoners in great numbers. She promoted agriculture to stabilize the people's lives and expanded the empire's borders. Historians say that without Wu Zetian's era, the Tang dynasty's golden age, the Kaiyuan prosperity, would never have happened. In 705, the 82-year-old Wu Zetian was finally forced to abdicate under pressure from her ministers. She returned the throne to her son Zhongzong and died that winter. And then, she had a blank stone tablet, the wordless stele, erected before her tomb. Her merits and faults were to be judged by future generations. Now, let's return to Yuan Tiangong's story. The prophecy book Tuibei-Tu, written by Yuan Tiangong and Li Xunfeng together, contains remarkable content. In the third image of the Tuibei-Tu, there is this illustration, a woman lifting up a bird, and this prophecy is written, sun and moon together in the sky, seeming human, yet not human, calamity born from the robes, the sun and moon hanging together in the sky, seeming human yet not human, disaster arising from the garments. Now, combine the characters for sun and moon. What character do you get? Here's the key. The character Wu Zetian created for herself was precisely the one placing the sun and moon above the sky. Yuan Qiangang saw the aura of an emperor in that baby's face and left that prophecy in the Tuibei Tu. And decades later, that prophecy came true without the slightest deviation. Is a person's fate truly predetermined? Or did one woman named Wu Zetian bend destiny itself to her will? Yuan Qiangang was not fooled even by a baby dressed in boy's clothes, because he saw not the appearance, but the essence. And Wu Zetian, dismissed as a woman, relegated as a concubine, cast aside as a nun. She was pushed to the lowest of places, again and again. Yet she ultimately stood at the very top of the world. A person's worth cannot be judged by appearance, not by gender, not by birth, not by present circumstances. What Yuan Qiangang saw was perhaps not physiognomy, but the immense will hidden within that child. The next story is even more astonishing. Zhuge Liang, the greatest genius of the three kingdoms, as he lay dying at Wusang Plains, he attempted a forbidden ritual to extend his life, the 7-star lamp ritual. But at the very moment the lamp's flame was about to go out, someone pushed through the tent flap. The story of Zhuge Liang's final prayer. Please subscribe and like. Your support is a great source of strength in making this series.